Hey guys! I'm here today to do a book review on a book I just barely finished, and that is The DUFF, The Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. And I was very first drawn into this book for the title alone. It's kind of a blunt title, so I was like, that sounds kind of funny as something I'd be interested in, so I picked it up. And I've also seen very many good reviews on this, so I wanted to get my 2 cents on it, and I'm really glad I did. I would give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really enjoyable, pretty easy read. There's only like 270 pages or so, and I read it in like 2 days. It was pretty quick, and I found myself not being able to put it down. It's not that it like really left off on a cliffhanger on each chapter, but it was just something that you needed to know what happens next in this girl's life. And I think that's another reason I really liked it. It seems like a book where it's something that's just so real, and the characters seem so real, and it was just like you were writing about someone that you could be friends with type deal. And I love reading books like this because, I mean, as much as I love reading like fantasy books with like vampires and whatnot, those are fun to read, but then I also like to read about like real issues, and this book does an amazing job at that. Before I get too into this, I would say that I wouldn't recommend this book for like younger readers, and I say that because, I mean, there's a lot of sexual content in this book, and if it's not something you're into, or like I said, it's probably not for younger readers. I don't know if I recommend this book because it's good, but if you're not into like a lot of sexual content or swearing, there is a lot of swearing in the book, then it might not be for you, because there's quite a bit of it, and it's through the whole book. And I was able, because me personally, I don't like books too much that, like, it's just a pet peeve of mine when there's so much swearing in a book. Not that I'm like, I don't know, there's something about it. I just don't like reading the F-bomb like every other word, and it didn't do it that bad in this, but there's still quite a bit. And that was the only thing that really bugged me about the book, was just the amount of swearing. And I just need to make like a whole separate video on pet peeves, because I have quite a bit, but because there's just little things in books that irritate me a little bit. Swearing is one of them. I mean, I'm not like a hermit. Everyone swears. I get that. You read it, and it's in like almost every book. It's inevitable. I don't mind it, but when it's just used excessively, that's just kind of when it's like, all right, calm down. That, and I usually typically don't like so much sex scenes in books because of the fact that it just takes away from the storyline. But this book, it kind of, I don't know, it made it part of the storyline. Like, I don't know how to make that sound, but it didn't bother me as much as it has in other books, because it was so tied into the storyline. And if you've read this, you kind of know what I mean. But, yeah, so I just wanted to hurry and throw that out there for any younger readers or people that don't like that stuff. It's personal preference, totally. Before I give the synopsis real quick, I just wanted to read the back excerpt right here, because I didn't notice this when I picked it up. I have just read the inside flap, and like midway through the book when I was shutting it, I realized that this was back here, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of funny. So I wanted to just read this. It's not like spoilery, but it's like a clip that the main character is saying to, that the main male character in the book is saying to the girl, and it's just kind of funny. It says, "You, darling, are the DUFF, designated ugly fat friend," Wesley clarified. "No offense, it's not like you're an ogre or anything, but in comparison," he shrugged his broad shoulders, "you have hot friends, really hot friends." He paused, watching the action on the dance floor for a moment before facing me again. "The point is, scientists have proven that every group of friends has a weak link, a DUFF." If a guy ever said that to me, I would do what the girl does in the book. Smack him. Like, oh, well, I don't think she smacks him, but that's what I would have done. For a guy to say that to a girl, that is totally, oh. I'm sure most of you girls out there would relate with this. No one wants to be called out by a very attractive guy, especially. And just any guy in general, or any girl. Like, you don't want to be known as a designated ugly fat friend. That's just a put down. So it's kind of what this whole book is about. It's about this girl named Bianca, and she just kind of has her, like, not a normal life that her other friends might have. her parents are kind of going through this hardship where her mom's not in the picture, so she just lives with her dad, and her dad is suffering from alcohol problems, and she just kind of has not as well as the home life that some of the other kids have. And she ends up going with her two best friends to this like popular kind of, not like a bar, I don't know how else, I guess it is a bar, but it's like a dance club type thing, but they go and order sodas, obviously, because they're not old enough to drink. But she ends up going to this place with her friends, and while she's there, Wesley, the main character in this book, comes up to her and tells her pretty much that she is the Duff and gives her the nickname Duffy. And she does not like that whatsoever and shows it by throwing her Coke in his face. I think that's on the like review thing right here, so I promise it's not like trying to be too spoilery. So throughout the book, you come to find that she just got so much built up, and she doesn't have anyone to really talk to about what she's going through at home. So she tries to find ways to like escape from her problems, and she ends up finding that in Wesley. So they're kind of like, I should just mention it, he's like this resident bad boy. Like, not bad boy, but he's kind of known for a womanizer. That's what I'll say. He goes around, he sleeps with the whole school, everyone knows it, it's just kind of his label. Doesn't commit, doesn't do any of that, just sleeps around. So Bianca just kind of finds like a little escape in him that way, and it goes throughout pretty much the whole book. And I mean, obviously there's problems that arise and all these other conflicts, but that's the main gist of the story, is she just comes to realize that Wesley might not be this like horrible person that everyone's making him out to be, and they might have something more in common than they might have thought. And it's just about two people kind of finding out more about themselves, and it's just so good. I can't say anything else without spoiling it. So if you guys have not read it, I highly recommend going and reading this book. It is really good, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much. When I first passed through it in the bookstore, I just kind of went, put it back on the shelf and thought maybe another time. And when I started seeing more people do reviews on it and giving better like descriptions than it did on the book, that's when I really got into it, and I decided I really need to check this out. So Cody Keplinger is an amazing author. I can't wait to check out her other book that just came out, A Midsummer's Nightmare. I really want to pick that up. So if you guys are in the market for another like quick good read, I would recommend this. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys again soon, and I will talk to you later. Bye.